gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled. Dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all mankind.
Welcome everybody, Spinner Rack is back and back! Today we're going to be talking about Iron Fist. This is it, guys. This is the last Iron Fist review we're doing for this season. Everybody's here, we're all on the same page. We're going to say whether it's good or bad. Are we going to watch it again when it comes back, or are we going to say, okay? So, today once again...
start over. I gotta take off this thing.
So this is gonna be the last one, right?
It's the last one.
Wait, I need to tie my shoe.
Everybody's a comedian in here.
Let's go.
Welcome everybody back to Spinner Rack, where the crew is in effect. We're all here, 100%. So today we got PD, Cal, and Superstar. We're going to be talking about Iron Fist. This is going to be our last Goody Goo Goo review. We're going to tell you whether it's a good thing to watch, it's a garbage thing to watch. Will we be back next time for Iron Fist 2, or do we need to get a whole new Iron Fist? Now, to kick it off, I'm going to hit it to our special guest star, Superstar. What did you think about this Iron Fist series?
I think it was pretty good.
Have you been watching the same show I was watching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing, man?
Give us your 411 on it.
Well, I think it was good because, my favorite episode was where it showed that Danny actually stole the Iron Fist instead of earning it from Kunlun. And this was the same episode when he finds out that Colleen was from the Hand.
That was a good one.
So then he's mad at everyone. So he's actually doing something instead of just walking around and kicking people in the face. He actually has a purpose for doing something.
Okay, I think that's a strong thing. What do you think, PD?
I enjoyed it. It's very slow moving, and I think he was a little too altruistic when he got into the company. He was like, I'm going to give this away. And it's just like, it is a company. They have to protect themselves, and he can't just come in, I'm just going to share money with everyone.
Yeah, you don't have a company anymore.
But he has a child's mind. Remember, he's been living in a socio-communistic environment for many years.
That you just come
communist.
Yeah, man. Everybody share.
You give up everything. That means that you come in there and you say you want to change how.
Even in communism, you don't give up everything.
Yeah.
You give up stuff. He just cares about just as long as he can cover himself. Well, I'm sorry about that, PD. I didn't mean to cut you off like Cal did.
I think the talent was good. But it just some of the episodes.
Wait, again, I gotta ask this question: are we watching the same show?
The talent was good. I like the character design Fist. We've also talked about in the past that they didn't do extensive martial arts stuff, but otherwise the interactions, the characterization, everything of that was pretty solid. So I was okay with it.
Well, you're the numbers guy. The numbers were fine. Okay, for all the criticism it got, it still performed very well for Netflix. So
I was actually going back to Superstar. I wasn't going to you yet, Kyle.
But it's my turn.
Yeah. No, we were just making sure that he had to say something too. He didn't get a chance to say anything.
Yeah, all right, okay, it's fine.
So Superstar, do you agree with his assessment?
Yeah. But and he said he was living in a communist area, Kunlun, and that they shared everything. That's not actually what they did. They had to fight, they had to earn. If they wanted something, even if they needed something, they had to fight to earn it.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like communism to me.
Somebody just
what
got shut
was
down.
Communism from
Somebody
each
got shut down on the show.
From each to his
guest
wants
star is
to
shooting at
each
the host?
to his needs. That doesn't sound like communism to me.
So, Cal, what was your take on this thing? I mean, can you give us a positive or a negative?
What is your you want some stuff today? Okay, you're asking for it. You're gonna get it. Right? Bottom line is, I came in and I had already taken a grade away from this film, from the show. I said they only had. When you look at shows like The Matrix, or you look at anything where or Into the Badlands, where the martial arts is very, very good.
Excellent.
These guys had months Okay, months to prepare to execute all of this stuff. Iron Fist did not have that. Iron Fist had, I think, less than a month, like 3 weeks, and it was like, okay, here's some choreography. All right, go do it. Okay, and that was it. Some of it worked. A good portion of it did not. It just looked too light. And that was a problem because a lot of the stuff that depends on the story depends on Daniel Rand being believed to be this incredibly great martial artist. They didn't have that because, again, they didn't have the time to train. So I said, okay, I'm not going to be able to give this an 8. I'm just going to take that straight off the top. And because of that, anything that connects to the fact that they do not have the correct training, the correct choreography in order to pull this off, because if you want him to be this living weapon, he's got to be able to show this. If he doesn't have the training to execute the scenes, not going to happen.
I just want to make sure I got the grading. So you said right off the bat you took off the letter grade, so it starts at B.
Can't get better than a B. Cannot get better.
And then I did the martial arts, so that dropped another grade. So
no. That's all. No,
I just want to make sure we got this. Because
no, that's you doing.
You're taking it off.
No, that's your thing. Anything that's martial arts or anything that's martial arts or martial arts related, meaning if in order for us to develop the story, we needed to see this guy's a martial artist in order to do it, all of that got taken off. Okay, so it's not going to get higher than a B. So at the end of the day, I gave it a B, which is like a gentleman's grade for a film. It's not that people look at a B. It's not like you went and took an exam. Okay, for a film, a B is pretty much, that's why we call them B movies.
Right.
Okay, so I pretty much gave it a B at the end of the day.
But you're saying if the martial arts,
you want me to talk or you want me to talk or you want to talk for me? Which one?
Asking a question.
Yeah, you've been asking a lot of questions. You're asking for it is what you're doing. You're asking for it.
Inquiring mind.
And you will get it. The Iron Fist. Right here. No, but aside of that, look, the casting was fine. The only person who annoyed me this time around was Claire, because they just Mary Sued the heck out of her for this one. She was doing too much. She's over here fighting ninjas.
I totally disagree.
I said no. I was like, no, you can't come over here. You get a sign on a telephone pole. You take off a little piece of paper that says, okay, learn Kung Fu, and now you're fighting with ninjas, and she's using Shuko to fight the ninjas as well. I was like, Claire, you're annoying me. And I like Rosario Dawson.
They needed to have her in the story.
Yeah, like, she's Sam Jackson, but she's annoying me. Okay, you're too Mary Sue the heck out of her. But everything else, the relationship between Daniel and Colleen was good. Okay, the first 4 episodes had a very good theme where Danny is trying to reclaim his name. Right? He gets angry when people will not refer to him by his name, and that was actually pretty good. But then, there was some back and forth with it. Okay, it seems like he's made progress. No, he's still not there. He's made progress. No, he's still not there. We get to the last episode, and he uses the Iron Fist to literally bust up an entire floor. Okay, think of a floor in an office building, one of these big office buildings. Not this lightweight stuff where you work. We're talking like World Trade Center type stuff. And he demolished the entire floor with one good punch. The whole thing is out. Circuitry is out. That was great. I mean, the only other scene that was on the show that I thought was close to that is when he busts down the door. But that's also embracing a lot of the comic book aspects of it. Now, what I didn't like? Because he displays the power, and then after that, he usually fighting. He's fighting this, low-level dude who's just like a bad businessman. So a lot of what took away from it was the fact that what we should have had was a good fight between 2 high-level martial artists. We can't have a good fight between 2 high-level martial artists because there's no training. And in order to execute that, you have to have 2 guys who have been trained, and there's the execution for it. So it takes away from the whole thing at the end of the day. Did I enjoy it? Yes. But if you're going to come back again, okay? If you're going to come back again, season 2, these guys have to be trained. The choreography has to be there, because you watch a show like Into the Badlands. Into the Badlands has, their story is everything you see right here in my hands. There is nothing going on in that show. There is no story.
They have action.
Yeah, because the action is so tight, you're still watching it. Iron Fist actually had a story here, and what happened? Any place where the story was going to be served by these guys needing to be able to execute that sort of martial arts ability, they couldn't do it, and so that took away from the overall story. So you have to have that next time coming out. Not giving you a pass, okay? That's a B. You could have easily gotten an A with the time for training, but we all know what happened behind the scenes. But I'll be back to give you another shot.
I'm going to say right now, I don't look at what's going on behind the scenes. When you present this movie to me, you show me this show. This is how we take it as.
Like Wonder Woman?
We don't always say, hey, what could have happened if they did everything right behind the scenes?
Like
That's
Wonder
not
Woman?
how you look at the show.
Like Wonder
That's
Woman,
not how
right?
you look at the movie. What you do. Now, I have to agree with you, but I think there's a more fundamental problem. I watched this series again just to make sure.
You watched it twice?
Just to make sure I wasn't
likes
biased.
it.
You watched
likes
it
it.
twice
Okay,
so you could
everybody.
slate it.
We're
Just to
outta
make
here.
sure. Just to
He
make sure.
likes it.
Okay, you
wasn't
see that?
biased.
You see that? He went back twice so he could make sure he gets his points in order. He's like, I hate it, and I'm going back again to make certain I
didn't
can
hate
slate
it. Let me
this.
say, I did not hate it. I've always liked Iron Fist, but there were some fundamental issues for me. That when he came back, the beginning first 4 episodes were really not that strong. You were just lost in who this guy is. This guy was supposed to be a master martial artist, and
You
he
missed
comes in.
you missed
and
the
he is
theme. You missed the theme. You missed the theme.
I
I just
missed the-
highlighted.
Missed
the theme.
It didn't work. It just didn't work.
It didn't work for you.
I think it needed more time to develop, and I think someone who had the discipline to become the Iron Fist should have had more discipline than this guy showed here in the beginning. He seemed so confused, so out of water, as to what was going on. And it's believable when someone comes into a particular situation and they don't know what's going on, but they have a discipline to themselves to ask certain questions, to go a certain way.
Which
this guy was just like all over the place. There
Which
was
ties,
no rhyme or
ties into the
reason-
martial arts ability.
No, but there was no rhyme or reason for some of the things that he was doing.
Like what?
Like, for example, I'm Danny Rand, I want to get to the company. Why do you want the company?
I already explained that. It's his company. It's his name he's trying to get.
What was it to, and he came back, we never truly understood why he came back. He came back just because he wanted to go back to his family? Was it he came back to see what happened? There was really never a good, solid explanation.
Season 2.
And when they did, it took forever to come up. I think one of the biggest things they missed was the training. The training that developed who he was. That's why I thought they should have done more of the training.
You wanted the 80s montage? You wanted to see him wax on, wax off? That's what you wanted?
I think that would have been, especially people coming in to understand what he went through. Because
so I get it. You were disappointed with the martial arts. I get it. You were disappointed with the martial arts.
But I'm just saying this is just a certain type of discipline that you need to have to get to the martial arts. But it's also, what you've gone through. He's gone through a traumatic life event, and I think we should have done it.
What was the traumatic life event?
His mother and father died. The plane
He was a
crashed.
kid. We're going to watch all of that?
No, but I'm saying you should have alluded. They started alluding to it more at the end of the show as opposed to the beginning.
You can't
of the show.
show the training. And one of the reasons why you can't show the
Why
training
not?
is they didn't have the budget. We couldn't even see the dragon. All we saw were little red lights over there. There was no budget.
The dragon, I understand, but you don't have to show the training. But they showed a couple of.
In order to show the training, what do you need? You need the money to show fighters who can actually fight.
You don't have to show the fighters. You can show him, the beatings he got. You could show.
They showed that. They showed him getting beat. How many times do we need that?
They could show that he was broken down. That he wasn't calling himself. What was he calling himself in Kunlun?
Who cares?
I think that's important. That's why he wanted to recapture his name.
So you want to see more Kunlun is what you're saying?
No,
we want to see more Kunlun. We need more money. We didn't get the money. No budget. You don't get to see it.
So we're looking now at movies and shows based on what the budget is and what's happening. I think that's not the way you look at most shows.
So what do you want?
You look at shows based on what is presented to you. You can only say, "Hey, this is what the director gave us," and this. Well, we don't say, "Oh, well, we got."
But what you want is not consequential to the overall story. You just want it.
I'm just saying it just.
You missed out on the theme from the first 4 episodes.
It didn't work.
You didn't even see it there. If you had highlighted this is what they were trying to do, and they didn't do it, you didn't even highlight the theme.
It doesn't work. It didn't work as well as
it was there. It worked. You just don't like it.
I don't think that.
I don't agree to disagree to anything. Okay, that's malarkey. That's that leftist nonsense. We disagree. Okay, we disagree. We disagree hotly, and we will continue to disagree.
Yeah. Well, someone is right and someone is wrong. Clearly.
Yeah, you're wrong.
The one on the left. That's what I gotta say.
You don't know what.
So, PD, what's your end run on this?
Well, Iron Fist is also a character that seemed to work better when he was fighting supervillains. Not like who's that guy? Master Kung Fu, which can fight human or / people with swords, that sort of thing. I think that's the only thing I would have liked is I think if you look at the original series, as it moves towards the end when it's fighting like Boomerang and the Wrecking Crew, and then runs into Sabretooth and X-Men. Like this, having more bright sort of characters with the Iron Fist and his costume, it sort of brings out the character more than having the street level characters.
That was something else I noticed. Iron Fist is the only Daredevil. To a large extent, I think the biggest part of the success of Daredevil is a big embrace of what's going on in the comic book. He's in costume. They touch on his superpowers. Okay. Iron Fist, we never, I mean, I don't say you don't have to do the exact same outfit that he has in the comics, but he could have had some sort of raiment, something that looks like ceremonial or traditional that comes out of here, that he needs to, that he wears this. All that comic book aspect was gone, and a lot of it felt like, David Carradine in Gung Fu, where, okay, you could get away with that in the 1960s because a lot of people were not exposed to Kung Fu. So they don't, anything David Carradine was like, hey, okay, fine, this looks wild. All the movie magic was there because the imagination was still very fresh to it. Now, if you're not exposed, you're overexposed to a lot of it, and they couldn't complete that. But embracing of the comic book is something that I found would have probably helped them because, again, a lot of it still ties back into what I said. You can't do a lot of those things. You can't have Steel Serpent on the show. Okay, you can't have a supervillain on the show if they're not willing to show this guy being super. If they want to, if it's going to be 13 episodes of finding myself, and I'm not going to find myself until the 13th episode, then hey, you're pretty much out of whack. And the hand should have been suitable, but even the comic book aspects of the hand we don't get. Where if you kill one, they dissipate. All of that part of it is just was lost, unfortunately.
But they did show the comic book aspect. We saw the commercial for the Defenders where you have
Haven't
Daredevil, where he's wearing the bandana on top of his head, covering his face. That's what we should be seeing Danny Rand. When everybody saw the commercial, the trailer, you're like, whoa, there goes Danny Rand. You're like, no, that's Daredevil. So you're like, what the hell? Why did they do
the
that?
black outfit?
Where he put it over his head.
I haven't seen the Defenders trailer.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was one out.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just like a little thing there in the elevator, basically, nothing too big, But hey, ladies and gentlemen, so we've finally done it. We finally completed.
No
You have anything? Hold on a second.
No jeans and
Everything
t-shirts.
Nope.
So it's over. Iron Fist, come back when you're on top.
Oh.
Okay.
There's all the controversy was for naught. There was no reason to make a big deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. There was no maybe. Probably if they had done. Well, we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, leave it alone. Or receive
back
a
out.
thing onto iron.
Okay.